Xianling, standing in the capital of the world's biggest country. No, I'm not mistaken. I'm standing by the site of Yuan Dynasty China, when China's territory stretched from Pacific to Mediterranean. It all started with one man, Genghis Khan. We're going to take you to the Mongolian plateau, Erdos, to see how and where it all started.
For centuries, nomadic herders roamed in a steppe here, one of the most sparsely populated places in the world. It was until the 13th century, under the leadership of Genghis Khan, these nomadic tribes obtained a collective identity and started being known as Mongolians, the people on horseback. Erdos Highlands played an important role in the life and death of Genghis Khan, the world's most powerful man of the time. In legend, Genghis Khan's army once took a break here and was in desperate need of water and food supply. Miraculously, his army dogs found traces of underwater in the middle of the desert. The army finished digging these 108 wells in one day. The day after, his well-charged army marched on and left these wells behind, something as valuable as life in the desert.
Look at my new pad. We should all stop wearing cashmere and come here, hug them instead. Think about this place. Hundreds of wells, water still running. The hero might be gone, but the water still stays here, running, nurturing everyone. Everyone. I mean, you too.
It was just one of the thousands of legends that suggest how Genghis Khan has become a semi-god figure in Mongolian culture. The chosen one who was empowered and guided by heaven. When Genghis Khan set forth campaigns westwards against the Tengus, a Chinese-style dynasty in northwest China known as Xixia, he consolidated his troops in Arsai. After conquering Xixia, Arsai became a name associated with victory and good omen. Later, a sacred Buddhist Mecca for Mongolians. A grand Lama temple used to stand on the top of the cave now is long gone, but luckily there are still traces preserved telling the glory of the time. It's no exaggeration to compare murals inside Arsai rocky cave with Dunhuang in terms of its historic importance and artistic achievements. This piece is especially valuable because it's believed to have featured all close members of Genghis Khan's own family. Other pieces documented battles, huntings, and national epics, an intriguing blend of symbolism and actual historic fact. Of course, the most common theme you find here is religion. For Mongolians, is Tibetan Buddhism.
Finally, I need to find a place to rest my sore legs after all this climbing. Look at this. Perfect spot, yeah? It's not just for me. According to legend, this was the holy spot where Genghis Khan rested his injured legs after one famous battle happened here.
Perfect, yeah? It's probably one of those legends circulating in a grassland, but at least I found this one was adequate. Mongolians didn't have a written language before Genghis Khan's time, so the Mongolian history was not written by themselves, but by foreigners who were directly or indirectly the victim of Mongol conquerors. It's not strange that Genghis Khan was recorded as nothing but a barbarian and ruthless invader, while among Mongolians was known for building his power based on trust, loyalty, and generosity. The rich land and enchanting beauty had attracted Genghis Khan. He was recorded declaring, "I want to be bucked here after my death." In 1227, heading back to Mongolia after a victorious campaign against the Tanjuatians, Genghis Khan died. According to legend, he was buried here in Ordos. His grave was stamped down by the horse's hooves as a means of hiding the location. It said that after the burial, 2,000 men were slaughtered by some 800 soldiers who were in turn executed, so that the location of the real tomb remains a secret. In fact, at this time in the history, the Mongols had not yet developed a tomb culture as Han Chinese or the Persians, so it was more likely that Genghis' body was simply allowed to lie where it fell, following Mongolian nomadic burial tradition. His belongings were buried in memory of his great leader, and the site became Genghis Khan's mausoleum.
Boaz Temujin, meaning blacksmith, he achieved something much bigger, proclaiming himself as Genghis Khan, the king over a vast ocean, and conquered a territory that no one had ever done. No wonder today he's still remembered, revered, and worshipped like a semi-goddess here.
To Mongolians, Genghis Khan is not only a national hero who united all the Mongol tribes and carved out the largest contiguous land empire in world history. He's also become a powerful deity that can bless anyone who comes in to pay respect as his spiritual domain. Genghis Khan's last word to his sons were, "With heaven's aid, I've conquered for you a huge empire, but my life was too short to achieve the conquest of the world. That is left to you." This mission was shouldered down and partially accomplished by Kublai Khan, the grandson of Genghis Khan. China was under Mongolian rule during the 13th and 14th century, recorded as Yuan Dynasty. 500 nomadic families of Genghis Khan's clan were picked to stand guard at the mausoleum. They were subsequently renamed the Duhut people, which means guards of the sacred mausoleum in Mongolian. When we come to visit someone's house, of course we know we should bring some gift. But when we come here to visit House of Semi-Divine for Mongolian people, I hope I can do all the things right. Since the Great Khan has become a half-god figure, a concomitant part of Mongolian religion, naturally, Duhut people also became the official shaman to perform blessing ceremony for believers.
और 그렇지 에브리바디 전체상 같은 쟁기한데 나머지 수사리는 신인 돌아간도 기능주가 사람을 사체를 개름만 사람들은 먹을때 맞아난다 바로 자네들 하다 우리 팀이 자는 우리고 저르고 쓰는 우리고 저 자마선에 나르도 잘로 번도 선선한 그것을 쓰는 그 지능부터 저는 나르도 딱
These are the famous holy horses guarding the Muslim of Genghis Khan. They're free as a bird, never settled, never be ridden, as you can see. And now they probably need to be ridden, go for diet. Safe in here? It's easy to make friends. Even with holy horses, if you get the right thing to offer.
Since the establishment of Yuan dynasty, the interplay of nomadic and sedentary way of life started to force its way through from the fringe to the very core of the state, affected and modified the evolution of Chinese society. Mongolians' initial attempt of turning entire China into a huge pasture failed. The dynasty of conquest was not able to fundamentally change the traditional forces of Chinese society. On the contrary, Mongolians' traditional way of living had been greatly influenced by Han culture ever since. Mongolians have a long history of raising and caring for their livestock. Horses, cattle, sheep, goats, and camels were praised as the five treasures. Horses are considered to the amulet and are seen as a symbol of undying Mongolian spirit.
那你也是达斡尔扈特人吗？
嗯，是。
第几十代你知道吗
？30多代。
成吉思汗对你们来说是什么？是神，是人，是国王，是祖先？
那是我们的支柱，心灵支柱。
心灵支柱。那祭拜的时候，你每年都会去吗？
每年去。
你几岁开始骑马的？
小的时候，家里面人坐在前面，他们骑上，我们就在前面抱着。长稍微大了一点以后，就自己骑去放那个羊羔。是大羊，就是每天骑个那种就那样。但是我也没多长时间在草原上，我十几岁就去念书啊什么的。
现代的蒙古人当然的是
跟得上这个节奏，
对，
你跟不上节奏，就这个民族就衰竭。我们还有我们的支柱，我们要把这个我们一代一代要传下去。这个
但同时要跟上时代的脚步。
不能骑着马，马是最好的朋友。
对，漂亮。
我特别爱马，我的是白马。
你的是白的？
纯白的。
哇。 Hello。你好。谢谢谢谢。谢谢谢谢，家很漂亮。Okay. That's a famous Mongolian hospitality that I've been long been afraid of. I can die of dishonesty, saying I'm allergic to alcohol, or I can just completely die of overdose. This is like more than 50 degrees of alcohol. I guess I just do the heroic way. 那我就喝了吧。近一点点了。Okay. Drop to the God. Drop to the earth. And just a little bit to myself. 就一点点哈，意思一下。
Just as I thought, the famous drinking welcoming ceremony was surprisingly easy. I soon realized it was just a short prelude. A Mongolian yurt feels warm to heart not only because of the hard liquor, but also because of hospitality.
You can see the first one receiving the wish is of course the host, sitting right on the north side in the middle. As a woman, I'm supposed to sitting right there, by the edge, your position, but today I get special treatment, so I can be honorably sitting over here. The male guest, of course, always sitting over there, the west side. Okay. Oh, wrong, right? First to the god, to the earth, to the south. Next one.
Mongolian table etiquette is not too hard to learn. The rule of thumb is always do as others do. Pay attention and follow. In Mongolian tradition, it's an honor for women to do all housework, to serve the head of the family and the guest from afar.
Mongolian milk tea, really salty and really fresh. Tastes really good. But remember, even if you're not used to the salty flavor, always take a sip, then put it down, just for the courtesy. Thank you.
As for entertaining the guests, both men and women happily share the responsibility in a joint effort. Mongolian cuisine is certainly not ideal for a vegetarian like me, so the Arab milk tea and homemade dairy products on the table can become more enticing than usual. If you are a cheese person and have been only had a tofu in China for too long, Ordos is a place to indulge.
자, 후후면은 딸기는 어떤데 혹소 그때 같은 나더라 아베메면 hunter죠. 자, 후후면 후훈군 나서 그러라 그네 오던데 했다. 매매는 그치 삼을치도 어떠버로 어떠서이긴 저 나신 할점을 치매매 나와 자 그네서 기태와 같아 해놨을 바nostera 신호스는 약간 들어갔다 하나 мет르치 그때가 나들 건들죠 자 맴잖아 다일리로 뜬다 혹시 지금 다 먹으면 다시 어떻게 매일 듣다 있다. 단어스 할지면 그저 올라서.
비스 호는 더 할지다 생각이 좀
또 그게 많이 하면 니키네 어디 또는 그게 또라. 아니 그러 또나. 좀. 매면 고런 들어 있은 다라고 싶으면 내면 에네 तरवदी कोरोन सरवसी दोसो एने बरु मुंकर
आया 거였지
बरु मुंकर 또 누트 못했으면 에네 어이 хотя 조금 들었으면 돼 빨리 루틴다 하시면
호군군이 휴어도 나이는 어딘데 호도
What a lovely bride, isn't it? Erdo's Mongolian bride costume. Doesn't look like me, does it? But this, of course, is just a Polaroid cheap version. If you want to see the full display of Erdo's wedding, this is what you're going to see. Something to expect.
Seeing a traditional wedding ceremony of any culture is a very special experience, as many weddings in this day and age has taken the European wedding as a standard. As a traveler, this might be the best opportunity to witness a jubilant Mongolian wedding in full and colorful display.
Special performance, not only for me, for TRAVELOGUE and for you, from Xiangshawan Erdos. 咱们今天弹的这几个乐器都已经是蒙古音乐里最主要的乐器了嘛？对。有大概几种？4种，我听说。
笛子、三弦、扬琴、
四胡、扬琴、
马头琴。
咱们那个鄂尔多斯音乐跟其他蒙古音乐比起来有什么特点吗？
鄂尔多斯音乐它主要是以鄂尔多斯民歌为主题。
民歌为主唱就是啊。
唱有2000多首。
2000多首。
有2000多首。
有歌声就有琴声，
有琴声就有酒，
有琴声就有酒，有酒就有敖包相会。来唱一段，唱一段。 little nomad living inside it. Of course, you have to find a job, get home, settle down. But remember, take your backpack sometime and come over here to the Ordos desert and grassland. Experience the lifestyle of Chinese camp descendants. Above all, enjoy the freedom. Tell you a little secret. I was born in Mongolia. That's how where the craziness comes from. But you also can take my work. You will have a blissful time. You'll be watching TRAVELOGUE. I'm Yelling. See you next time. Bye-bye.
In the next episode, the porcelain of Jingdezhen lights up the Ming Dynasty.